I'll just say very quickly that I saw, Bria, that you went to the Elms, and I also went to the Elms, which is great.
That's amazing. That's hilarious. Did you go to the elementary school or did you go to the high school?
I went 6th through 8th grade, and then I went to
Wow.
Firestone.
Yeah, I went K through 6.
Amazing.
I was a penguins rise up, you know what I mean? Penguin pride.
Carl is talking about coming in on his phone now. I don't think that's the best method. I think we're just gonna go with this. And if it ends up I have to talk about the canvassing and stuff we're doing, that's fine.
Hey, folks who are jumping on the call, we'll get started in a little bit.
Cool. Exciting. Oh, it's 2 already. Yay. The moment has arrived. We are officially kicking off our Nina campaign. I am so excited about this. This is huge for Akron DSA. And I think that Nina is one of the strongest fighters for the working class that we could hope for. So our whole event today is going to be super chill and casual like Akron DSA usually is. Everyone should have a great time. We're going to try to keep it to under an hour since it's a beautiful day outside, and beautiful days in Akron are not all that common. Got to get out the sunshine and eco-socialist vibes as well. One of the exciting things about Nina is that she wants a Green New Deal, so we can keep enjoying this beautiful planet we live on. I know that in Akron, one of our favorite things is the metro parks, and I hope that some of you can get out to enjoy them later today. If you have not checked out Akron yet, and everyone we have in here is from Akron so far, but definitely check out the metro parks. We just passed another levy for them. Akron DSA is a big supporter of that levy as well, but this is our first real electoral effort. So we are very excited to be running an independent expenditure campaign for Nina Turner. DSA for Nina. We're going to build power for the working class through improving our own electoral strategy and sending a fighter to Congress. We're going to wait a few minutes to totally kick off because we have a few people trickling in here still, but I'm excited to see everyone so far. We have some outstanding panelists. Okay. Probably give it to about 2:05 to officially kick off here. So cool. Yeah, I know that Nina was around town today. We will begin our own Akron DSA for Nina canvassing soon too. So if you want to canvass with DSA, we're super excited to have you. That's going to start around May 15th. We'll have some more details about that later. And until then, we are going to have some phone banking opportunities. So lots of ways to get involved. And one of the nice things about this is we're all learning about this process together. So we welcome all levels of experience. And we will provide training for any activity we ask you to do. Remember, the working class can and will do everything. All right. If you're not signed up for our Action Network updates yet, Friends dropped some links in the chat, and we're excited to have you do that to stay in touch with us. We also have a DSA for Nina Slack. So if you're interested in joining that, if you could drop that link too, Bren, that would be helpful. Thank you. All right. Can I get our super chill slideshow up? Yeah, so the Slack is where we're going to be talking about the Nina campaign the most. We want to make it open to everyone who is interested in getting involved. If you haven't been involved so far, that's totally fine. We're gaining more people by the day, and we definitely welcome everyone of all experience levels.
I'm going to throw it on Facebook before I put up the PowerPoint, so give me just a second. I'm going to do that.
Okay, yeah, no problem. Yes, let's go, Nina. I'm so excited to be getting back into these in-person activities coming up soon too. Love to see everyone getting vaccinated. Summit County Public Health has been doing a great job with that. If anyone has any questions about COVID safety for us, like feel free to message the chapter and we'll explain to you our protocols. We don't want anyone to feel like they're ever at risk at our events. Safety is very important to us. I wish we could do this event in person because it's so much fun, but we do get to have some of our special speakers in because we're doing it online. So swings and roundabouts, but today is definitely going to be a super fun day. I think that we are going to start off pretty soon here. All right, we're live on Facebook. How exciting. And if you don't, if you have people who want to come to this who aren't registered, it's not too late to just send them that Facebook link or share on social media in general. I'm very happy to have everyone here today. Thank you for taking an hour out of this beautiful Saturday to be with us and hear all about the exciting campaign launch. Yeah, here we go. Okay, welcome. Go to slide 3. Yeah. So I'm Heather, co-chair of Akron DSA, and you can also see the rest of our steering committee is on here if you want to give waves. We have Bren, Alyssa, and Tyler. So my pronouns are she, her, they, them. This is my second year as the co-chair of Akron DSA. I guess 3rd year in membership. I'm also a proud member of SEIU Local 1. Very excited to have a strong labor candidate running for Ohio's 11th. We're going to do things in a little bit different order today. So our first speaker is someone that some of you may know and love, Megan Svoboda. Megan is an Akron native. She's also on the DSA NPC and a member of New York City DSA.
Hi, everyone. Just if you could give me a little bit of a thumbs up or say in the chat if you can see me. I want to make sure everyone can hear me and see me before we dive in. Awesome. Okay. Hi, everyone. Heather gave me a little introduction, but my name is Megan Svoboda. I grew up in West Akron. I went to Firestone High School. I went to Our Lady of the Elms. I went to a Waldorf school in Copley. And I'm just so happy to be able to be here repping Akron. Shout out to my dad, a DSA member, who sent me this Akron DSA shirt, which I get to wear with everyone today. And so just to get started, I wanted to talk a little bit about like, why do we as DSA members participate in elections? You know, why is this something that we believe is a part of our program and a part of our work? And, you know, there's a lot of different reasons. We want to be able to elect amazing people like Jabari Brisport, who I saw just joined us. So we want to be able to elect people so that we can both legislate and also so we can continue to build our power as members and as an organization, right? And that's what I'm trying to say here is that there's the process of the election, and there's so much that we do through the election. We learn how to organize. We put on events, we talk to strangers, we have conversations about what socialism is, who these candidates are, what they stand for, and then we try and actually do the work of getting them elected and winning, so that we can actually have the power that having electeds allows us to have, right? And this is really important because I think for so long in the socialist movement, we haven't won, right? We actually like haven't been winning. And all of a sudden, over the last few years, we've started winning. And I think it's really important that we continue to focus on that, that we continue to talk about why it's important to actually have people in these, have DSA members, have socialists, have people who stand with us, people who are pro-labor, actually in these elected positions. So part of this is because we have a different vision for the world that we want to build than a sort of corporate mainstream Democrat, right? We believe that we can build a world that is free of exploitation, that is free of occupations, that is truly democratic, both at work and in our communities, and that we can build a world that looks like this for all people, not just for some, right? But for everyone. And we know that in order to build that world, we're going to have to do a few things. We're going to have to change a few things. And we need to have members, strong community organizations like your DSA chapters who can organize around those issues, push for them. And then we need to have people in elected positions who can actually drive those agendas forward with the support of the movements that have put them into those seats. So I actually wanted to talk a little bit about something that happened in New York this week. And again, I knew Jabari would be on, so I wanted to like give Jabari a big shout out for this. But we just passed a New York State budget that is what we are saying is the first not austerity budget that New York has had in a really, really long time. And this is a huge win. This is a huge win for DSA, because DSA put forward a proposal that said, we need $50 billion. We need a lot of fucking money if we're going to do everything we need to do. And look, we didn't get all of that, but we got a lot. And we got a lot because we had a movement of people organizing around it, calling people, demanding it, getting people in the streets, getting people up to Albany, the capital of New York. And we had these incredible socialists in office who were fighting for it too. And we were able to really win some things. And I think that I want to use that as an example of why we want people elected, both like why we build the movement to get them elected and then continue building a movement once they're in office. But also federally, like once we want to get people elected to Congress, because we want to be able to win Medicare for all. We want to be able to win a Green New Deal. We want to pass the PRO Act. We want to do all of these things that we have not seen corporate mainstream Democrats fight for, right? I think a lot of us are here because we have not seen our electeds actually do this work. And we have not seen the Democratic Party build the institutions that allow us as regular day people to get involved in the process of winning those things. So what we're doing, and I think what you all are doing and what I am doing as just a regular old DSA member, is trying to say that we need to get Nina elected, we need to get other people elected to Congress so that we can build a strong organization that engages a lot of people in our community in the process of fighting for Medicare for all, process of fighting for a Green New Deal, in the act of getting her elected, so that hopefully when we get her elected, we can say, we're going to keep fighting for these things. We're going to keep fighting for these things with you. And we want to see it happen, right? So it's about building up the organization, building up the skills that we need in order to fight for ourselves, and also winning power through these elections and putting people into seats, elected seats, where they can keep fighting for the things that we know that we need, we know we deserve. So I think that's a little bit about what we're doing here today. And I just want to say that, sometimes an election can feel like just one election, but it's not. It's a part of something so much bigger. I definitely my mom got me out there knocking doors for Obama before I really knew what elections were. And I'll just tell you that that felt so different than what it feels like to get on the streets and have conversations with people about democratic socialists who you really, really, truly believe in. We are building something that is so much bigger than one election. And these elections are important. We want to win them. But this work is a part of something so much bigger. It's a part of a plan to actually transform our society into one that is fair, one that is democratic, one that is just for all people. And this campaign that you guys are launching today is a part of that. It's a part of it, but it's not all of it. So remember that the conversations that you start having with people, those are relationships that you're building that you will be able to go back to, right? You're going to call someone, you're going to say, hi, I'm your neighbor. I live in this city. I'm trying to elect this person. And I want to elect this person for these reasons. They're going to make our lives better for these reasons. And then in a few months, you're going to call that person back and you're going to be like, hello, it's me again. I'm still fighting for this thing. Will you join me? Can I count on you to commit to vote for this person? And then after that election, you'll call them back and be like, hi, you voted. Will you join DSA? You know, like this is part of what we're building. It's just a part of it. So I want to say thank you all for being here. It's a beautiful Saturday afternoon, and I'm so grateful to be able to spend some of it with you all. Truly, truly incredible work. I can't wait to get back to Akron to make some phone calls and knock on some doors. And solidarity to all of you.
Thank you so much, Megan. Solidarity. So one of the things we're talking about here is how to connect with other community members and voters about our important issues. So we have a poll here. We're wondering what your most important issues are. Some of the things that this campaign is going to focus on for us include Medicare for all, Green New Deal, building strong unions, better housing in Akron. But we're also interested, if you have another, if you could please throw it in the chat, we would love to see. Yeah, so all of these things are very important. And we all have like our personal issue, but it's important to be able to talk about how all of these issues really tie together, because socialism is government by us, for us, the workers. That's what we're really trying to win. So I'm going to give you one of our shining examples of a DSA elected, Jabari Brisport. He is a New York State Senator, and he's going to tell you a little bit about what DSA electeds do and the fights that we're having today, and hopefully some more encouraging words for us. Thank you.
Thank you, Heather. And I just want to say hi, Megan, and hi, Akron. And I'm just like so gassed and excited that y'all are all doing this. So thanks for the introduction, Heather. So yeah, again, everybody, my name is Jabari Brisport. My pronouns are he, him, and I'm a state senator from Brooklyn. I'm a state senator in New York. And I got to just start with the Nina Turner story to begin with, just because I just have to talk about why this campaign gives me life and why like sometimes like I'm feeling down, but then I just think, okay, well, Nina Turner is still running for Congress. So that's going to get me through the day. So before I was a state senator, you know, I was a public school teacher. I have walked many different paths, worn many different hats, but I actually ran a losing campaign for city council about 4 years ago. And I will never forget the day after the election when I just felt like absolute like crap after, you know, running and, you know, you lose and it sucks. And Nina Turner gave me a phone call. And I know she probably had like 100 phone calls to make that day because our revolution had, you know, they endorsed a bunch of people, a bunch of amazing people. But she took the time to give me a personal phone call and boost my spirits and say like, I got to get back in there and do it again. Talked about, you know, she had lost one of her first races too, and she got back in there and did it again. And honestly, her voice carried with me over the years and was in my head when I was running for state senate. And I just want to say like, I'm so happy to be here and say this is Nina Turner's time, and she's going to represent us and fight for us in Congress. And it's super, super exciting. This is her time. Hello, somebody. Like, this is really, really amazing. When you're the type of person that takes the time to call up somebody that ran for city council 1,000 miles away and tell them to try again because you're interested in building power in your own backyard and also everywhere across the country, you're the type of person we need in the federal government, and you're the type of person we need in Congress. So we need Nina, and I'm so excited that she's killing it on the campaign trail. Akron DSA, y'all are killing it, helping her out. And I know I know y'all asked me to come here just to sing Nina's praises, but I had to start with that because she's just amazing. So I want to talk more about I guess the ripple effects that we've seen in New York of running elections. So let's just talk about my campaign, for example. So my campaign for city council, the losing one, centered around a lot on housing and really nasty rezoning in a section, a neighborhood in Brooklyn called Crown Heights. And part of the skills we learned in that, the knocking on doors, the canvassing, the talking about housing, translated into a big fight about 2 years later in 2019, where we won massive changes in rent laws, drastically expanded power for tenants across the state, really weakened corporate developers and the stranglehold they have kept on New York politics. I think developers in real estate has a strong power all over the country, but in New York, it is wild. Like they say, like real estate in New York is akin to oil money in Texas. It's really powerful. And we took a big cut to their power in favor of tenants and working people in 2019, which was amazing. But not only talking about the rent laws, like even the work that was done on my campaign in 2017, the canvassing, the training, to do field, to do communications, fundraising, all that translated into the work we were able to do in 2018 for my comrade and colleague, Julia Salazar, State Senator Julia Salazar in New York, getting her elected, working on AOC's campaign in 2018. This stuff cycles and gets better and stronger. And now what we're seeing in this year, and I know my chronology is, I'm going all over the place, that's because I'm excited, but last year in 2020, we elected 5 socialists to the state legislature. We were 5 out of 5, me, Julia in the state Senate, and then in the assembly is Sofran, Farah, Marcella, and the jump from 1 socialist in the state legislature to 5, you heard Megan say it. We passed, not only was this the first non-austerity budget in New York State, I don't know how many years, but I think it's the most progressive budget ever. We have managed to not only turn the clock back on austerity, but advocate for higher taxes on the rich. It wasn't everything we wanted, but it is the most progressive budget in New York's history. And we have a fund for excluded workers. That's people who are, working in the economy, but were excluded and cut off from unemployment benefits because they were undocumented or for various other reasons. So we have billions of dollars to help them out because they deserve unemployment too. And then you can't call them essential workers up until you have to pay them, right? So we got that into the budget. We passed higher taxes on the wealthy. We're putting a lot more money into education, into housing, into childcare, into healthcare. It's really, really, really incredible. And this was all because of the work that we've been doing over the years on elections. Elections translate the techniques and the skills you learn on working on elections, especially class struggle elections, like when we run socialists, translates into so many other fields. It's all in these ripple effects. They move on to other things. And so in addition to the budget, what we're seeing now actually just came from a rally that we're doing now that we've had this big fight over the budget. So this is can you see this? Let me just get closer. I don't know why I'm putting it on my mouth. Sorry, I should just do this. So this is Public Power NYC. So this is a new campaign where we're pushing now to seize the means of production, specifically regarding energy. So it's a big campaign in New York we're running to shift all energy production and distribution, all of it in New York, out of private corporations into public power. So all electricity, all of it in New York, we're advocating to be run completely publicly for the people. And I'm sorry, I'm not leaving, sorry. It's parking is crazy in Brooklyn. But we are saying that we are going to shift the power completely out of the hands of private developers. And if we can do it here, we can do it anywhere. And we're not just coming for it in terms of energy, we're coming for it in terms of we're going to keep on pushing to decommodify housing, to decommodify the banking sector. We have the New York Health Act because we want to abolish private health insurance and push all healthcare into the public sector. So I know that I'm coming off of what feels like a victory on the budget, but I also feel like we're just getting started. And I feel that way whenever I see amazing candidates like Nina Turner. I mean, she's been doing it forever, right? And then she's also just getting started. Like this is just the beginning of a bigger, brighter chapter, for her, for the movement, for Akron DSA. And I think y'all told me 5 to 10 minutes. I don't know how long it's been, but that's pretty much all I wanted to say. Other than that, this is all incredibly exciting. We are on the precipice of something incredible, and it's really tantalizing to be on the precipice where it feels like you're about to just climb over the edge into a really beautiful future that's possible. So I want to thank y'all for putting this together. I want to thank y'all for endorsing me and working your campaign. When we win, I'll be thanking y'all again because we are going to win. This is a winning campaign and we're going to do it. We're going to put in the work. And then I just can't wait to see all the things. I know we have the poll going on. I can't wait to win all of those. Green New Deal, Medicare for all, the Pro Act, all of it, we are going to win because this is just one more step in a journey that we're all taking together. And it's Nina this year, and then we're electing more socialists in 2022 and 2024 and every year afterwards. So thank you so much. I am extremely excited, and for all of you, for Nina, for all of you, and see you soon. And I can't wait to see all the stuff that's coming up in the campaign in the coming months. Y'all are all doing amazing work, and congratulations already. I'll give you more congratulations at the end of June after you win as well.
Thank you, Jabari. That's incredible energy. I love to see it. And I think that really inspires us all, and also gets us thinking about how, so this campaign is part of something much bigger. It's something much bigger in Akron. It's something much bigger for the country. And we need to be both. We're going to be building locally. We're going to be building at the state level. We're going to be building nationally. So one of our Akron alums is here now to tell us some jokes and get us a little bit in a lighter mood before we talk about all the work we have to do. Rhea Butcher, they're a comedian. They are a Kenmore native. So Rust Belt champions, love to see it. Thank you, Rhea.
Oh yeah, thank you. What's up, AK Rowdy? How's everybody doing? Big 330. I still have a 330 phone number, and the area code in Los Angeles is 323, and I have to always go 330 is the area code. Calm down. Like, people, you know, you're gonna have to pry that phone number from my cold dead hands. You know what I mean? Like, I'm hanging on to that thing. I'm hanging on to the Akron roots forever. Great to hear you, Jabari and Megan. So wonderful. Always great to meet another Elms kid. I used to always say another Elms girl. It's an all-girl school, if you don't know, and I went there. Turns out not all girls. So, but that's for, you know, whatever. Seriously, so mad that they're allowed to wear pants now. Like, when I found that out, I was like, you gotta be kidding me. I want my childhood back. Man, the days would have been a lot different if this guy could have worn pants to Our Lady of the Elms. A lot would have changed. You know what I mean? Anyway, it's really great to be here. I'm so happy for all of you and Akron DSA. You've done such great work. I just want to give a shout out to the fact that you stopped fracking in Akron, which, if there is not a better national, like, everybody needs to know that there's no fracking in Akron. You know what I mean? Like, everybody needs to know. Is this thing on? No, it's not. It's not plugged in. It's a prop. Anyway, but I'm just really happy for you guys, really proud of you guys. What great work that you're doing in Akron. Akron is such a, it's just a primed and ready city to recover its union roots, its roots with each other, its dignity in work. Like, that is something to me. Now, this is not a joke. There's no punchline, so don't wait for it. I just, because I have, you know, my family, I have like union roots. I also have like exploited labor roots. So I think it's incredibly important, especially now, because I too, Megan, can't wait to go back to Akron, which, hey, it's a phrase I am excited to say, you know what I mean? And I can't go visit Rolling Acres, you know, because that is now just a human manufacturing space or whatever. So I feel like Akron is primed and ready for change, vast sweeping change. All of those poll things, to me, that's all one thing, which is us. Let's do it. There's no reason that anybody but us should have control of those things. Absolutely no reason. And so to me, being a part of the DSA is changing hearts and minds, saying like, no, I'm this person, like, whatever you think about socialism, because I have that in my family too, where somebody was like, what, I don't know about this socialism. I was like, what, let me ask you, what is it? What is socialism to you? And they're like, oh, it's where everybody lives in the same kind of house and you can't have anything. And I was like, I don't know where you got that idea, but that's not what it is. Because also, let's think about that. If we were going to make everybody live in the same house, that would take a really long time to get that done, to actually make everybody move out of the house they currently have, restructure the entire like surface of the country so that everyone had the same. Also, that sounds kind of like a great idea, but at the same time, very difficult to reformat the entire landscape, which is ultimately, and I was thinking as I was hearing Jabari speak, this is all our, like, that's the thing. Like, we need local candidates. I feel like that is where the jam is at. That's where it's winnable. That's where we can change people's minds, people's participation level. You can actually vote for something and see it happen. That is that is what, you don't just vote for something, you go, oh, well, whatever, and then you go back to your shit. And then really thinking about it, going, oh, wait, this is all our backyard. We all live in each other's backyards. We're all neighbors with each other, no matter if we have a house or a tent or a trailer or a car. We all live together and we all need to make change. So this is just a hilarious set full of tons and tons of punchlines. I understand. I will tell a couple jokes because it's been like 3 minutes and I don't want to take up too much of the time. I am timing myself. Comedian, actor, writer. Let's see. I'm curious what beautiful day in Akron is. Is it overcast and 63? That was what came to my mind. Like, oh, beautiful day. You know, like, it's not snowing in April, so it's a beautiful day. We're doing it. I also, man, as soon as I get around people from Akron, like my Akron accent just comes out. And then all of a sudden I'm speaking purely out of my nose. And people are like, what happened to you? And also, whenever I meet somebody from Akron here, that is the conversation that we have. Somehow one of us like lets slip that we're from Akron, and then the other one goes, oh, you're from Akron? The other one's like, oh, you're from Akron? And then I'm like, yeah, you're from Akron? Where from? Like, we literally just said where we're from, but no, I need to know where. I need to know where exactly. And I will say, I met somebody, literally, she was selling the property that I live in, and we were talking to each other, and she had a necklace around her neck. Where else would a necklace go? Anyway, and it had a little star in Akron, and I was like, wait a minute, are you from Ohio, Northeastern Ohio? And she was like, yeah, I'm from this little suburb called Cuyahoga Falls. And I was like, I'm from Kenmore. And she was like, whoa. And that is the reaction that I get every time I say I'm from Kenmore, which is why I'm super proud to be from Kenmore, because everybody's like, are you going to pull a knife? And I'm like, maybe, I don't know. That's my favorite. Let's see. These are just actual jokes that have nothing to do with Akron. Except for everything's from Akron when you're from Akron. The pandemic, it's changing, it's shifting, but it's been a long time. It's been a long time. And something that I've learned that I would love, and I didn't know this about myself until I experienced the pandemic, is I would love an adult-sized baby Bjorn. I would love for my partner, who is about an inch taller than me, and it is threatening my masculinity. I can admit that. I am, solid enough in my femininity that I can admit that I'm fragile in my masculinity. I think that's how the math works on that one. But I would love nothing more for her to just put a baby Bjorn on with me in it, and then I can just like float at like adult level and just like look at the world from toddler view, and then I can just be like, oh, watch out for a corner, watch out, just have my little toes just dragging on the ground. That's the kind of relationship that I want. And also, I think the last thing, let me see, yes, probably the last thing, I'm really saying this into the microphone, which is funny because it is not plugged in at all. It's just purely a prop. It's purely a prop. Also, I think there's I think there's at least one other person on this Zoom, on this talk, that also went to Akron U or is currently going to Akron U, which I'll never call it University of Akron. I just can't do it. It's literally not Akron U, but you can't call it anything else. It's literally not. It is not Akron University. That's not a thing. But it is actually a thing because that's what we call it. I don't know. The kangaroo, fear the roo. I went there and I went to art school at the University of Akron, which is just never gonna. We had art classes in an auto repair shop. I mean, these are the Akron roots that I'm coming from. Like I'm making relief prints where they used to lift cars hydraulically and fix them. Like, if there's nothing more solid working class than making art in an auto repair shop, I don't know what is. But I will tell you the other thing that I learned about myself in a pandemic is that no matter how long it is, no matter how much free time I have to myself, I am never going to learn how to play the harmonica. I have a harmonica. I have always had a harmonica. I will never not have a harmonica. I will never learn how to play that harmonica. I will own the harmonica. I will move it from house to house. I will keep it. It will be sitting on a shelf. And one time every year, I will pick it up and make it sound like a train. And that's the extent of my harmonica playing. And that is what I learned in the pandemic. So with that, you have to vote for Nina Turner because we need great federal representation of local importance, union, environmental care. We only have one planet, and I don't want to go to Mars. Who wants to go to Mars? Mars looks like what the Earth will be if we don't do anything about the Earth. You know what I mean? Like, why would you want to fast forward? Anyway, let the rich ones go. I don't care. I'll keep this guy because I like this place. So anyway, vote Nina. Go Akron DSA. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. I don't want to go to Mars either. They don't have as much decrepit infrastructure to do art in, so I'm just not interested. Where can I paint a mural on Mars? Come on. Our final speaker tonight, whatever, is Carl. He is our UA student, and he's done a lot of work on the Bernie campaign in Akron, so many of you may know him from that. He is also a recent, but certainly not least, Akron DSA member, and we're very happy to have him. And he's going to tell you a little bit about what he sees on the ground here in Akron as our conditions, and then give you what you can do next to become part of this exciting campaign. And while he does that, I'm gonna really think about whether or not I'm gonna be the person carrying with the baby Bjorn, or if like the partner is carrying, or if we're just going back and forth, because this is a real puzzle to me. I'm just kidding. Here's Carl K. Thank you.
Hey everyone. So yeah, like Heather mentioned, my name is Carl Kellerman. I use he, him, his pronouns. I am also currently, something that wasn't mentioned, I'm also currently on our County Democratic Precinct Committee, as well as the current president of the College Democrats here at the University of Akron. I just needed to stress University of Akron though. Sorry, Rhea, it still is University of Akron to me. Yeah, also one rebuttal to one of your jokes. Speaking out of the nose is actually, I think, more of a Boston thing, but I guess I'll admit that I do speak out of the nose a little bit, maybe. But yeah, anyways, so into what we're actually going over today. So, you know, here on the ground, the conditions are, it's really interesting, this district. It's great. So it's a majority minority district. It is one of the Voter Rights Act compliant districts here in Ohio. And, you know, it almost highlights the class divide that is in the country in general. So we have some precincts up in Cleveland area, just outside of Cleveland area, where you know, Beechwood and Shaker Heights, where the median income, and I'm not kidding about this, is almost $90,000 for the median income. And then we have precincts that are just about 5 or 6 blocks away that, you know, the median income is down into the 30s or the $20,000 range. And, you know, that kind of difference really shows right there what kind of candidate we need. We absolutely need a candidate that is going to make sure that the rich are paying their fair share, or just taxing the rich, since I guess this is a DSA call and I can say that. You know, we absolutely need a candidate who's really out there and doing the work. So to go back to the conditions that, you know, we're dealing with, and the candidate herself, Nina Turner is absolutely amazing and absolutely someone we need to get elected. This is a great opportunity for us to build power here locally, as well as for this district to get the true representation it needs. So with that, I just want to say one quick thing. Nina was actually literally on the ground today, knocking doors both in Cleveland and Akron. She's willing to put in the work, and she's going to do it. So I also have a couple testimonies, but I think I'll skip on that. And correct me if I'm wrong, I'm going over the portion where we're talking about the asks and the activist work that we can do. Fantastic. So yeah, we've had some fantastic people working on this campaign already. One of the people on this call, and he is not a panelist, but he is an attendee. His name is Nick Galena. For most who don't know him, because he works behind the scenes, he is probably the smartest data person I have ever met in my life. He has worked on many campaigns, including Just Grain campaign in Delaware, as well as he was briefly going to work on the campaign for Gary Chambers. Unfortunately, that didn't pan out. Maybe there's a reason why Gary Chambers didn't win. And he's also worked on Morgan Harper's campaign and a bunch of local candidates here. Nick's really put in the work. Why am I shouting Nick out? Well, I'm shouting Nick out because, you know, when you pull the numbers for this district, we have a ton of houses that we could possibly knock on the doors for. But Nick has done a great job, and he's narrowed it down for us to about 217,000 people that we could possibly talk to. Now, that number sounds really daunting. I'm going to admit that right now. That number sounds really daunting. But if we break it down even further, the people we're targeting, the number of conversations we have to have, realistically, we're looking at about 60-ish thousand people total turning out. We only have to talk to 30,000 people. You know what we can do? In Akron, in Summit County in general, there are 24,000 people. That's it right there. 24,000 people. We've flipped Summit County totally for Nina. We've already won this race. So that's what I'm asking you to do. I'm asking you to help us get out on the doors. I'm asking you to help us make phone calls. Just today, there was door knocking opportunities. And the amazing thing was we could knock on a door and about 2 or 3 of the 6 or 8 people who are actually willing to talk, because, you know, COVID's still a thing, I'm not going to lie, they had already said they got a phone call. And you know how much work that does? Any candidate on this call can tell you, I'm sure Jabari can tell you how amazing that is to be able to knock on a door and have them know your name, have them know your story, have them know why someone is knocking on your door and why they're an amazing candidate. So I know that sounds daunting. I know it's a big number, 24,000 people. That sounds like a lot of people. It's a big number. But realistically, when you break it down at the end of the day, it only comes out to anywhere between 1,200 and 800 volunteer hours. So it's super doable. I'm super excited. We're going to win this thing. It's going to take everyone on the phones. It's going to take people on the ground, and we're going to hit the ground running, though. We have an amazing team in place. We're starting canvases in the middle of May. So we're looking for April 15th as our launch date. And I don't know the phone bank date off the top of my head. I'm sure that can be dropped in the chat. I know the links have already been dropped for the phone banks. So please sign up for the phone banks. It will make our life easier. It will make Nick's life easier, because Nick is doing all these smart people things with this data that we're getting. And I certainly can't do that. So please make Nick's life easier, make my life easier, make everyone else's life easier, and let's get Nina elected. We can really do this. This is something that we're going to absolutely win. And I think with that, I think I'm good to switch it back to Heather, unless there's anything else that I need to cover.
I'm going to do some aggressive asks now, because I'm the aggressive one in Akron DSA and everybody knows it. We are going to put up a poll now, and I'm going to ask you to pick what you think you can do. If you have not joined DSA yet, now is a great time to join DSA, almost as good as yesterday, but we can keep up the fight today with that. We would love it if you came out to our canvases. We are starting mid-May, because that is when our critical number of organizers have reached full immunity from their vaccinations. That's what that date is coming from. 5/15. Our first phone bank starts next weekend. We will provide all the training for you via Zoom. And we also would love anyone else who wants to get involved on our planning team. Like, you're more than welcome. We love to see people. And it's already been amazing building relationships between DSA members that we don't normally have as much opportunity to really showcase their skills. So I'm loving to see several of our members really stepping up here. I think one of the nice things about the Adult Bjorn thing is you could like carry your fellow canvasser maybe. That's where I've decided, like, we're here for each other. That's what socialists do. We support each other. So if we need this, we need this. And please reach out to Akron DSA Steering at any point if you have ideas about getting involved, other things you want to do, or if you're interested in running for office yourself. Because like I said previously, one of the things that we're really trying to do with this campaign is to build out our own electoral strategy, so we can have socialists at every level of government, because that is what we need to win. I'm seeing a lot of people willing to do a lot of things. And remember, you can do all of the things too. That's usually my method, is to just try everything and then, you know, keep doing it. Meeting the best Akronites that way, for sure. And thank you everyone for being on this call. This has been amazing. Do we have any questions that we need answered before? Sounds like we got a lot of canvassers. Canvassers is the winner. So that's exciting. It's going to be so cool to be back in person, safely knocking on doors and getting to know our neighbors. And yes, we welcome people from everywhere to visit us. Awesome. Well, I don't want to take too much of anyone's time because it is so lovely out. It is actually 80 and sunny. That is a nice day in Akron. Yeah, I just thank you so much for all being here. This is super. I'm very excited for our phone bank next Saturday at 2:30. And we're going to continue to have these, ooh, nice red shirt. We're going to continue to have these like afternoon Saturday actions for you moving forward. And then as we get closer to the election date, the primary is August 4th. So we will be accelerating our campaign plans closer to them. There'll be more and more events. And thank you all for being here.